One of the major problems operators and plant owners contend with every day is scrap, product that is unusable because something went wrong during pouring. Operators have only a short duration to pour the urethane mix before curing. If that part happens to be a large or intricate part, the relatively short pour time may not be sufficient to fill the mold. Chemtura has solved this problem with a revolutionary product line called Adiprene Duracast. With new Duracast, operators now have up to 24 hours or even longer to pour, leading to increased processing efficiency. The long pour life is coupled with quick demold time, thereby increasing productivity. Along with processing advantage, Duracast offers high performance in demanding applications. In fact, customers have been pouring off-road tires as large as 4 tons in weight and 12 feet in diameter using new Duracast. The environmental and health and safety profile of new Duracast is also superior, as Mocha and TDI are not used.
There are many ways of processing Adiprene Duracast and Duracure, and we will show you 2 of the common methods used to process these materials. The first step in any of the processing method involves melting the Duracast prepolymer. In addition, the Duracure drum has to be rolled for at least 12 hours to ensure that the curative dispersion is homogeneous. Alternatively, containers can be placed in a paint mixer for 15 minutes. The inexpensive equipment required for the hand-cast operation include a degas chamber, a thermometer, a spatula, containers to hold the materials, and containers to mix the 2 components. After weighing out the necessary amount of prepolymer and curative, measure the temperature of the prepolymer to ensure that it is in the range described in the SOP. Note that the pot life of the system depends on the temperature of the prepolymer. Next, add pigments and other additives to the prepolymer and mix using a spatula. Ensure adequate mixing by moving the spatula in various directions. The container is then placed in the degas chamber and vacuum is applied. A minimum of 29 inches of mercury is necessary for adequate degassing. Once the foam head breaks, the prepolymer is ready to use. It is not necessary to eliminate all bubbles. The next step is the addition of the room temperature liquid Duracure to the prepolymer. If the prepolymer is not agitated during the addition of the Duracure, then irreversible white specks are formed in the final product. Again, mixing is done by moving the spatula in various directions. Scrape the walls to remove any hang-up. Once again, place the mixture into the degas chamber. Degas at 29 inches of mercury until the foam head breaks. Once again, it is not necessary for the elimination of all the bubbles. Moderate bubbling is acceptable. Once degassing is complete, the mix can be poured into hot molds. These molds were preheated to 260 degrees Fahrenheit. Pour the mix on a center point or along the walls to minimize air entrapment. As you can see, the Duracast mix can easily flow down the long, narrow neck of this mold for a dead blow hammer. Operators have plenty of time to allow for the release of entrapped air. A Observe the low viscosity of the mix after pouring the parts. This leaves plenty of time to pour multiple parts from one batch. The molds are then placed in an oven set at 260 degrees Fahrenheit. Duracast can also be cured at hotter temperatures, such as 285 Fahrenheit, to get better properties. These smaller parts, as seen in the video, can be demolded after 10 to 15 minutes of exposure to these temperatures. The second method of processing is by using a drill mixer. This is similar to making a mix in a mix tank. It is important to choose a mixing blade that does not entrap excessive levels of air during the mixing process. A Jiffy mixer or Hansen mixer satisfy the mixing requirements. Again, first weigh out the desired amount of prepolymer and curative. Measure the temperature of the prepolymer to ensure that it is in the range described in the SOP. Note that the pot life of the system depends on the temperature of the prepolymer. Next, add the pigments and other additives to the prepolymer and mix using a spatula. Ensure adequate mixing by moving the spatula in various directions. Once the prepolymer is degassed, a drill mixer can be used to mix the Duracast and Duracure. The drill mixer is set at 300 RPM and the Duracast is agitated. Duracure is added to the prepolymer under agitation. After 2 to 3 minutes of mixing, the drill mix is stopped. Note that there is plenty of time to mix and clean the mix equipment. Again, degas at 29 inches of mercury until the foam head breaks. It is not necessary for elimination of all bubbles. Moderate bubbling is acceptable. After degassing the mix, pour the materials into hot molds at 260 to 280 degrees Fahrenheit. The Duracast system is being poured into a skate wheel mold and a screen mold. Pour in a manner to minimize air entrapment and allow any bubbles to release from the mixture. The screen mold is an intricate mold and requires that the material have good flow properties. As you can see, Duracast mix flows very easily into the mold. In less than 10 minutes, we are able to demold the skate wheel. Along with the quick demold, the part achieves the final hardness right away. After just 10 minutes, the Duracast C930, a 93 caprolactone, is already at 90 Shore A, even at the elevated temperature. The mix you are observing, made several hours ago, is still pourable. The higher viscosity is due to the cooling down of the mix. If the mixture was held in a heated and agitated vessel, little if any changes in viscosity would occur.
The new Adiprene Duracast system is an innovative, high-performance, easy-processing, hot-cast urethane elastomer. The advantages of the new Adiprene Duracast system include tighter ratio control, no curative melting or dusting, extremely long pot life, very quick demold time, versatile processing techniques, low to minimal capital investment for processing equipment, the ability to cast extremely large and/or extremely intricate parts, and lower exposure to isocyanates and amines. Furthermore, the technology can reduce costs due to ease of automation, reduced worker training time, and reduced scrap. New Adiprene Duracast is available as ether, ester, or caprolactone-based prepolymers. Currently, 8 different grades of Duracast are available, with even more in the pipeline. New Adiprene Duracast. The urethane rules are now recast.